Well, if you're looking to participate in a very special event this evening, you can do that at the Vail Symposium. Joining me now is the Executive Director, Kris Sabel, to talk a little bit about, first let's talk about what the Vail Symposium is all about.
Good morning, Megan. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. We're always so excited when Vail Symposium comes on because you have a busy summer and a busy winter ahead.
We just have things going on all the time, and it seems particularly busy in August because everything else is over. But for those that don't know the symposium, our goal is to bring wonderful educational programming to the community to provoke, thought-provoking, curious discussion, just get people thinking about lots of things, and a wide variety of topics, from depression to the Dead Sea Scrolls to our film series to we had a wonderful program on cancer this past weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have had a lot of really great educational programs. I myself have been to a few, and it's just really a nice way to spark some conversation in the community and, like you said, kind of trigger a new line of thought. And we have a new line of thought coming forward. It's a part of the three-part film series, and you had one last Wednesday, one this Wednesday, and one next Wednesday. First, tell me what happened last week.
So last week, we kicked off the series at Little Beach Park in Minturn, and the film was Valley Uprising, which was on the history of the rock climbing, 3 generations of rock climbing in Yosemite. Mm-hmm. And we continue that outdoor theme a little bit this week. We have 3 short films. The first one is called Melting Away, and it's done by an 18-year-old filmmaker from the Front Range, Liam Walton. Mm-hmm. And his film is about the effects of climate change and global warming and what that means for the ski industry. So it's very timely and obviously very topical for our community. And we kind of tie that together. The second film is The Time Travelers, and it's about the USA rafting team trying to break the world speed record for rafting the Grand Canyon.
Wow. Yeah, these are incredible photos, and you kind of, they say you can't judge a book by its cover, but when you see the pictures of, the cover of what these films would be, it kind of gives you an idea, and it does. It already sparks interest right away. So I know I'm excited to hear more about this, and a lot of people I don't think know that, climate change can affect our recreational side of life as well.
Well, it's such a unique topic. We've got so many scientists who are talking about it all the time. It's certainly in the news. And we did a program on climate change with 4 incredible panelists. But this young man was just taken with the idea, what happens to our state, what happens to skiing when I grow up if there's no snow? Yeah. And so he really tries to delve into that. It's a 13-minute film, so it's not too in-depth, but it's certainly interesting to see this young man's interest in that subject.
So you have 3 short films, and you have some speakers that will be joining us tonight as well.
So Liam Walton, who's the filmmaker for the first film, will be here. And then we've got a couple of members from the rafting team to talk about their chase to beat that speed record and to introduce that film and do Q&A after. And the third film is Martin's Boat, and it's about Martin Litton, who is sort of the grandfather of rafting guiding on the Colorado River. Mm-hmm. And when he passed away, they built a dory sort of in his honor, and he was the guy who really championed the idea of these wooden dories on the Grand Canyon. And it's a beautiful film. I think it's kind of a tearjerker. Yeah. And he was a great conservationist that really pushed to stop them putting 2 dams in the Grand Canyon, which makes it possible for us to enjoy it and raft it.
Oh, I love the Grand Canyon. I've rafted the Grand Canyon myself back in the day. And you have one more film that continues next week as well.
We do, and it's a departure. It's not really an outdoor film. It's called Third Eye Spies, and there was a program. It started at Stanford with these people who had psychic abilities to do what they call remote viewing. And the CIA came in and they sort of bought up the program and made it this undercover program. And they used these psychics to try to see what was going on in Russia and China and around the world to try to get an advantage, whether it was economically or, more importantly, politically and militarily. And that program eventually stopped, and all of that information was declassified a couple of years back. Mm-hmm. And so the filmmaker who will be here, Lance Muniau, has put together this film about the program and about remote viewing, and it's going to be pretty interesting.
Well, we're definitely excited for tonight, and we're excited for next week as well. I have always loved learning, so education, it's fun too. So make sure that you're getting your tickets for the Vail Symposium event that's happening tonight. VailSymposium.org, and if you see Kris there, make sure that you shake his hand and say hello. But coming up next, we're going to give you a look at that weather forecast. Mark Sassy's going to let you know, is there rain ahead?